In this video, I'm going to take a look at the update to the H198, the new F7 from Aputure. The H198 from Aputure is one of my most used and reliable lights. I keep at least one in my kit bag on all of my shoots just because it is so versatile. When Aputure released the F7 back in April 2018, many of the issues I had with the H198 were fixed, such as the battery mount release plate and the color temperature indicator dial. The lack of having that on the original H198 made me swap it for the daylight version because it became unreliable. So here are some of the upgrades to the F7. The F7 is much thinner than the H198, but instead of that plastic feel, the F7 feels like it's made from a much sturdier material. The F7 has a higher concentration of LEDs than the H198 and a higher CRI of 95 compared to the 93 on the H198, giving a more accurate color output, which is always a plus when it comes to skin tones. The output on the F7 can be dimmed down to 1% and produces the highest output when set to 5600 Kelvin, which is different to pretty much every other bicolor light I've used, where the maximum brightness sits around 4400 Kelvin. This is because Aputure have expanded the range of the F7 to go from 3200 to 9500 Kelvin, putting the sweet spot at 5600. It has a number of power options, but due to the reduced size, gone is the battery door from the H198, which could house AA batteries, which I always found was one of the H198's greatest assets, as a Sony MPF battery can be very cumbersome, especially when you're mounting it to your camera's hot shoe. In its place are the options to power the light via USB-C or DTAP, as well as the Sony MPF mount. With the battery mount itself, it now has a quick release button as opposed to the H198, which you simply had to drag off, which always bothered me as now it's so good that it's been fixed. All the changes that make up the F7 have made this an extremely versatile light, and if you wanted to, you could use this as a key light. For me though, it doesn't quite pack enough punch for that, but it is extremely useful as a 3/4 backlight or as a hair light. Because of its lightweight design, it puts next to no strain on a light stand, and with its 4 1/4-inch holes, it can be used in a variety of configurations. As it has an expanded color range, it's much more useful as a camera top light, and with a small USB power pack, it could be powered throughout the whole day. With a Sony MPF battery, I've never dropped below 2 bars on a full day of filming with one of these medium-sized ones. If you were to use the F7 as a key light, it produces very natural skin tones, but it does need additional diffusion to soften out the face. But when doing this, you do drop the output of the light quite considerably. In interviews, the F7 makes up a valuable part of my portable lighting kit, and works very well in conjunction with my Leno 256B from Pixapro, and this has become my go-to setup when shooting interviews. This setup has the Leno 256B as a key light through a 5-in-1 reflector, with the Aputure F7 as a 3/4 backlight with a sheet of black wrap to make it into a snoot. The Aputure F7 for my work is the perfect little bicolor LED light, and it's the light I wanted the previous model to be when it first came out. It solved all of the issues I had with the H198 and has made quick interview lighting setups that much easier. The only negative comment I have about the F7 is the dial to change brightness and color temperature. It's just not as responsive as I would like it to be, but this is certainly not a deal breaker, especially at the light's price point. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments below, and as always, I will see you in the next video.